Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. All right, let's talk about the most underrated yet most profound thing, healing thing, no less, that I do for my business, for my clients, and for my own sanity. It is not a new strategy or a new app. It's something that I've been talking about for years, and it is simply a long walk. Yeah. Now, I know to many of you, this is going to sound far too simple, right? For a CEO making serious money, running the show, it sounds like a complete waste of time, no doubt. But if you're the kind of person who's constantly on the go, yeah, if you're constantly performing, if you are constantly taking on everyone else's problems, then a long walk is going to be so much more powerful than you could possibly imagine, because it's where you can learn the art of holding space for yourself. And if you're thinking, what the hell does holding space even mean? In a nutshell, holding space is the creation of safety. It's ensuring that someone, or even yourself, feels safe enough to speak freely or to think freely. Most importantly, you need to feel safe enough to feel. Yeah. For my clients, it means creating an environment, whether that's a coaching environment, a one-to-one environment, or a group environment, or an opportunity, yeah, where you don't have to perform, where they can drop the whole I've got it all put together mask, where they can drop the people pleasing superpower and they can actually feel the exhaustion, the resentment, the frustration. Yeah. Now, this might not sound like a good thing, but if you don't feel it, you can't heal it, you can't move past it. Yeah. So I create these spaces where there is absolutely zero judgment. It's where my clients don't have to numb their emotions. Yeah. Instead, they can feel and heal while being supported in a fully trauma informed way. But this isn't just about my clients. Yeah. This is about you. This is about creating a moment or a space or a time where you can let yourself feel too, because you're holding all that energy. You're holding your business, your team, your clients' needs, your family's needs, as well as your own. And if you keep on emptying your own cup without topping yourself up, you are gonna get pissed. Yeah. Um, and even more scary than that, you're going to burn out. Yeah. This is why a long walk is important in my personal practice. It's a conscious act of creating an energetically clean space for myself, yeah, for me. It's a chance to step away from all of this digital noise. I mean, I don't know how many of you know, but I have multiple screens going on here with different stuff on so that I can focus on what I'm doing, but still have other stuff available to me. But to step away from that, you know, yeah, digital noise. It's the only word I can think of for it at the moment. Um, it's the demands on your attention, and also the constant input that you're piling into yourselves. Maybe I'm not explaining this right. But anyway, it's a chance to release and step away from all of the energy that isn't mine. Yeah. And to process how I'm feeling so that I can release what isn't mine and hang on to what is. Also, when you're walking, that rhythmic step, 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 you're not only moving your body, but you're moving energy. Yeah. You are allowing your nervous system to calm down. You're letting those swirling thoughts come and go without attaching to them. So, yeah, you'll know it's important, but why is it so crucial to me? Why do I big it up to my clients? Well, it's because if you are full of other people's energy, their worries, their stories, yeah, if your mind is a cluttered mess of all of your client problems, your own to-do lists, their to-do lists, your ability to communicate clearly to your team and be creative and receive those intuitive, powerful downloads that completely just you need them. Yeah. If you keep piling all of that stuff onto yourself, your own genius, what is truly you, becomes frozen. Yeah. And I don't mean frozen cold, I mean frozen as in still. An energetically cleaned space, however, allows you to hear yourself think. It allows you to feel your own truth, your own next step, without the noise of the day, just the day getting in your way. It's how I choose to show up for my clients with a soulful precision, yeah, soulful precision. It's an important phrase, and just not my own baggage. I come to every client consultation or catch-up call or even quick connection call completely free of all that, because I've let it all go in order to focus on what I'm doing in that moment. No other moment, no future moment, or no past moment where I'm trying to sort of overanalyze what's already happened or over strategize about something that might not even happen. Yeah? Being focused in that moment. Let me give you an example of how this turned up in my life just recently. I'd had a few rough days, yeah, which had followed a kind of rough month, to be honest with you. I'd noticed that the waves of frustration in that particular day, yeah, had, trying to think of a word, rage. Yeah, they'd become rageful. I had become rageful. And there's nothing wrong with being angry. Angry is an indication that something is pushing you out of alignment. But when at the same time you're getting pushed out of an alignment and getting pushed back and pushed in and pushed back, and that can create kind of what I call rage waves. Yeah. I even found myself shouting, growling, muttering at my screen while stabbing out messages. And then suddenly I noticed it. So I closed my laptop, grabbed my water bottle and Buddy, the dog, who just wandered past if you didn't notice him, and left the house. Now, I can literally hear you say, but that's impossible for me. Yeah. And I get that. But hear me out. It would have been impossible for me in that moment to create valuable content, to connect with businesswomen in a useful way, to respond to client questions or answer queries on my social media posts or in my inbox. Yeah. Any number of other things would have been impossible for me had I not taken a break. Yeah. Think for a moment of all of the roles that you perform in your business, in your family, in your life. Yeah. You can't be all of those things. You can't successfully strategize if you are drowning in your own to-do list and monitoring everybody else's all at the same time. A walk, whether it's a short walk or a long walk, is time to make and hold space for yourself, to let yourself feel, to create calm, some clarity, some true power. Yeah, it's not a non-negotiable. No, start again. It's not a I'm looking for luxury. Yeah, it's not a luxury. It's not a would be nice to have. Yeah. It should be a non-negotiable for your business and for your well-being. One of the things I talk about when I'm talking about people planning is to plan in each day, yeah, the non-negotiables first. Yeah. I always start off when I'm planning my week with all of the time when I'm not going to be working. That might be sleep, that might be journaling, that might be time I set aside to read, or it may be whole days when I've, set aside a day to go help my mum. Yeah. Those non-negotiables include, for me, going for a walk. And I used to have it as a non-negotiable to walk the dog. And then I realized that, yes, Buddy needs walkies, yeah, but so do I. I need time in the morning to get my body on side. Yeah. And you have that choice too. Now, if you've got a job, you might be expected to be at your desk from, here to here, yeah? But you're going to have break time. And if you are the sort of person who feels that it's, like a badge of honor to sit at your desk and eat lunch, yeah, nobody else thinks that. Nobody, truly. Because if you can manage your workday and have a lunch break, yeah, that's where the tick is. And you should look for that in your teams. The people who have the presence of mind and have the timetable set in their mind that they need time away from their desk, they need to take a break. Yeah. If you, like me, work from home, yeah, you might feel that, it's that easy to just leave your desk because you're in charge of yourself. Yeah. But there's always a chore, quite often. I say always, but it's quite often people see walking the dog as a chore. Yeah. Think of it this way. You are taking a walk and you're taking the dog with you. It's the same as the chore of picking the kids up from school. Yeah. You could be carving out that little part of your day where you are nowhere else but with your kids. You go pick them up from school, you drive them home. That journey is an isolated point of time where you are nowhere else but with your kids. Yeah. You have a choice every day to prioritize you. And you have the opportunity to value your contribution to your business. Yeah? And at the same time, you have the choice to prioritize resourcing you so that the choice you make to pour your value into your business is far greater. So, hope this has been helpful. More next time. If you're not subscribed, do it now. Bye-bye.